idea of having fun is landing a flying U-Haul truck on a goat trail, you're in the right place. Today, we celebrate the noble art of aggressively delivering people and cargo to places that actively reject aviation. And this episode is sponsored by Dirt Runways, Bad Decisions, and the indestructible soul of the second oldest design still in active service, the Hercules.
That was good. That was good.
How do you draw goats into the Hercules' like ecosystem of existence?
I think that's organic, isn't it?
It's a goat trail.
Organic?
It's not. Jesus. You know what? I worked
It's not
this is like the
Jesus.
Ho Chi
It's
Minh
not
Trail or
really
something.
hard on that, guys.
No, it's
Thank you.
I liked
Thank
it.
you.
Don't pay any attention to Jimmy.
we can try again.
No,
we'll see.
no,
We'll see
don't
how
pay
you do
any
next
attention
time.
to Jimmy. I'm
Goat
you're
trail?
below me on the screen, so I'm gonna pat you on the head. Good job, Jimmy. That was good. I liked it.
Gosh. I'm going back to rearrange them.
Arrange it properly.
Welcome to High Alpha Hooligans, everybody. I'm Scud. As always, we've got Jimmy Chaos and Fifi, and as you can see, we have a guest today. Fifi's already introduced the topic. It's going to be another C-130 episode.
Is Fifi involved? Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be another C-130 episode?
I have
The
a few
dirty
bones to
30,
pick about
baby.
About the DCS C-130, so we're gonna get.
All right. Jaren's with us. I'll let him introduce himself in a minute. First off, thanks to our sponsor, Fox 3 Managed Solutions. Luck over at Fox 3. Always helping us out. Thank you. And
the Italian
legend.
and to our partners, Eagle Dynamics, Heat Blur, Grinelli Design. Yeah, thank you for working with us. SFL, as we've talked about many times. Can't forget those guys. We'll have them on, I think, in the near future.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if we're still doing episodes like on a schedule, but we're trying to.
No.
We're trying to.
The schedule is yes.
Yeah.
all over the place.
And in keeping with the standard of just cold calling, emailing, texting, or dropping a message to somebody and being like, "Hey, can ooh, that was a loud Bella in my ear. No, I just muted Discord. All right. Shout out to Bella, who's just yelling at me in Discord. In the standard of us just dropping messages on people at random and being like, "Hey, do you want to be on a podcast?" Here we are with a guest on the podcast. Jaren, you wanna tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Jaren. I run the channel FlyEverForward. Current C-130 pilot, and then spent quite a while in the Air Force, roughly 14 years or so. I have a maintenance background and a Loadmaster background as well, so kind of familiar with all things airplanes, and also from DCS. So I started playing DCS well before becoming a pilot, and so started with, I think actually I heard in one of y'all's episodes y'all talk about the VCS G3, the group over there. So I started flying with them and flew F-18s for a while. I'm probably one of the most jankiest setups you've ever seen, but it worked. And they, learned a lot from them. And funny enough, when I went to fly the T6 in pilot training, it actually helped quite a bit. So DCS holds a very special place in my heart. And just trying to make some videos and help some folks out with the hurt.
So we have a running joke about like you can never find like the first person who ever played DCS. So who got you into DCS? Like who introduced you into DCS? Because nobody ever finds DCS organic. It's always like somebody being like, "Hey, come check out DCS."
Yeah, that's actually exactly how it happened. Yeah, I have a good friend of mine. Me and him grew up together, and he was like, "Dude, you got to check this game out." Because I always played. It's like all the old fighter games and playing games, and it's like all arcadey. And I was looking. You always sit in the cockpit, and you're like, "Man, I wish I could flip these switches, or do something with these switches in this plane." And he was like, "Dude, you got to come check this game out." And I went over to his house because at that time I did not have a computer. And
what year was it?
This was in like 2016, 17. so yeah, it was, I think DCS it was around for quite a while before that, but just in various forms or stages. But yeah, so I went over and checked it out, and I was like, dude, I have to play this. Like, I got to do whatever it takes. And so, yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of some like the cloud-based computer systems that you can play on. So like, I literally streamed a computer into some crappy old laptop and like plugged in a couple of, like, I think I had a T16000 or something like that. And I plugged a couple of those, like, I had like 2 USB ports, and it was literally just for the stick or for the HOTAS setup. And that was all I had. And just try to play that way. And that was my introduction to DCS.
That's all you need.
That was it. Yeah.
What you said that it helped you out when you went to T6s. What did you think translated well from DCS to flying in the T6?
Yeah, it's a good question. So like mostly for me, what it was, mostly when we got to formation flying, there was a couple of things that I had learned flying formation with the F-18s, like some of the verbiage. Obviously, you couldn't get the hand signals, anything like that, like you would have in the actual aircraft, but just kind of, yeah, exactly. So like some of the things that you'll see, just as far as like looking for, certain visual cues to let you know that you're in proper position, things like that. It translated well, and then as well as the comm piece. So there was a lot of communications that were going on that, as somebody who had no idea about flying, I didn't know what to do or what to say. But practicing that in a realistic setting in DCS allowed me to kind of carry that into pilot training, and it actually helped quite a bit.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I've been asked that before, and I think formation flying is my number one thing I point to that translates from DCS in real life.
I love formation
Certainly.
flying in DCS.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
No.
I feel like there's a story there.
Yeah,
No, there's
the story
stories.
is that anytime Fifi says he's saddled, you need to break away from him immediately because he's going to put his airplane inside of yours
Uh-oh. Yeah, okay.
Aggressively.
without consent.
Yeah, without consent.
Oh boy. Yep. Well, hey.
And what's funny is he used to try and be like, no, and then he did it live on Lux stream one time. So now it's immortalized on Fox 3's YouTube channel.
I never do that. We have the fucking receipts, dude.
Literally.
Whatever.
Well, we brought you on here because of you tell us a little bit about, if you don't mind, a little bit about your career.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I enlisted straight out of high school. So always had an interest in flying. I grew up watching C-130s fly around. So I always wanted to be around airplanes. I never really knew what that meant or what it looked like for me. I didn't really come from a privileged childhood. So I just knew that I wanted to be in the military and I wanted to be around airplanes. And so when I enlisted, there was a job that it came open for maintenance on B-52s. And so I ended up down at Barksdale for a while, and absolutely, I loved it. But I was also doing a lot of growing up at that time. And so, I was, from anybody who knew me back then, they would look at me now and probably think, I don't even recognize you, like it was just.
I think Barksdale makes people grow up. There's a lot of.
I think enlisting in
milestones
the
to grow.
military makes people grow up.
Tell me you also had a lot of.
Yeah.
Tell me you also had a lot of troubled junior airman stories that the rest of us had from the.
Well, yeah, I think I gave my supervision some headaches at times for sure. So there was a lot of that. But I mean, it was.
Show up to work. You're like, yo, you're gonna earn your paycheck today.
Oh yeah, that was If I showed up, they were like, oh shit, all right, here we go. Or actually, they were probably like, thank God this dude actually showed up today. So yeah, it was that kind of stuff, man, and it was a good time in life, right? So I needed to grow up for sure, but had some good experiences down there. and then I wanted to move closer to home. So I ended up getting a Loadmaster position with C-130s, and so that opened my kind of where my career progression into aviation began. And so stepping into that career enlisted aviator role out of maintenance was an eye opener. And we were kind of talking about this earlier, but the crew concept in the C-130 is just very different. And so officers and enlisted, we rely on each other for everything that we do in the aircraft. And so the lessons that you can learn, the conversations that you can have with people who've come from various backgrounds, it kind of, if you're willing to listen, it lends you, it can set you up for some really big success. And so that's kind of what happened to me as I started listening to those conversations and just kind of forcing myself into positions where, okay, I want to listen to this or I want to ask these questions, and then how do I use this to propel myself? And so I was a load for about 6 years, and it took me
Where at?
At Little Rock. So I've spent all my time at Little Rock, and so most of that time, it took me about a year or two to realize that, okay, wait a minute, I might be able to even jump to the front seat of this thing if I really put my head down and get to work. And that was, looking back at my childhood, I was already excited just to be flying around in the Herc to begin with, and then to be able to see a career path where, well, now I might be able to fly this thing and actually like be at the controls of this aircraft. And this is a very realistic, thing. It's going to take a lot of work, but it's realistic. And so at that point, I started working on my degree, got my degree, and then got picked up for a pilot slot. So,
did you go to OTS or ROTC or what?
Went to OTS. Yeah, I spent some time down in Alabama.
Yeah,
which I'm sure
Maxwell.
I'm sure you're very familiar with Maxwell as well. There's quite a few schools down there. So, went down to OTS, spent some. What is it, about an 8-week course, I think it was when I went through. I think they've changed it now. It's a little bit longer, but, you go through as the prior E, and it's kind of a wake-up call because you have that enlisted experience, and you're like, why am I even here? But, there's some lessons to be learned and some things to kind of, it's another one of those grow-up points, right? So some things to some value to add into your career progression. And so finish that up, and then because I didn't have a private pilot's license yet, which is kind of unusual, my track was a little unusual compared to most people because I am a reservist, so getting hired into the reserves, usually they want a PPL, but being a prior flyer, I was able to step into that role without a PPL. So I went and spent some time at IFT, did about 2-ish months or so there, and then went to UPT. So
where'd you go to UPT?
I was at Laughlin.
Laughlin.
Yeah.
And then you're a reservist in the Herc as a Loadmaster?
Yes.
And then right back to the reserve. So you knew what you were going to go to. You didn't have to be surprised on the drop night.
Yeah, that was kind of, there was a hidden beauty to that. There were times where I kind of envied the active duty guys. I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool to just not know what you're flying and kind of be surprised by it. But I've loved the Herc so much that I did not. Yeah. By the time drop night got there, I was like, I don't envy you guys at all.
No. And from the other side of it, we envied you guys. Yeah. It was so much anxiety on drop night.
To be fair, I tried to talk as many people as I possibly could into the C-130, and I got a couple of them, but I don't think all of them were buying in
doing
on
the
it.
Lord's work there. That's
right. That's right.
So we asked you on here because of that experience you've got, especially in the Herc. It's a Herc episode, and it's nice to get people that know the airplane in real life to be able to talk to how DCS represents the real life, the aircraft and the flight model, how everything pans out. What works, what doesn't work. And it's really cool to do that with somebody who's already into DCS.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get that opportunity, but it's people who play the game the first time when they're the first time they see it is, right before the podcast. But
Sure.
You've got time at DCS, you're familiar with it. You're putting content out about the Hercules.
Yeah, which is awesome.
So
I made sure to subscribe to the channel, like all of our channels.
Thank you for that.
So let's start hitting him with some questions. Let's get the dirt.
I got two quick questions. What kind of maintenance did you do on the buff?
So I was a electronic warfare technician.
Oh yeah.
Fade.
So thoughts on that new
Fade.
radar?
What's that now?
Thoughts on that new radar they're putting on that?
Yeah, no answer.
I was kind of expecting that as an answer.
Second question. When you went to OTS and you didn't have a PPL, did you just show them like your Steam account with your hours on DCS?
No, I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have. So no, we funny enough, one of the guys that that I was flying with out of my unit, I told him that I did a lot of sim flying. And so I didn't have, the very first time getting into a general aviation aircraft. It was a little Cherokee 140. And I was scared out of my mind because I feel like I'm flying around in a lawnmower, Like it's a very well maintained aircraft, and I love the guys who own it. Like nothing, no kind of shade on them or anything like that. But just for me, I was like, dude, this is terrifying. Like I am absolutely scared out of my wits right now. And so the first flight that I had with him, he's like, all right, man, you ready to land? And I was like, no, dude, like, no, I'm not ready to land this thing. And but he's like, all right, you got it. And I was like, okay. And so we went in for a landing, and it was actually a pretty decent landing. And he kind of looked at me. And he's like, you said you've never flown before, right? And I was like, dude, I just fly in the Sims. And he's like, there might be something to these Sims, man. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I was like,
Yeah.
all right. Like, so.
Yeah, we actually have a friend who's going through the Royal Canadian Air Force Academy right now because he worked in a
Oh,
restaurant
really?
flying DCS, and he's like a whiz kid when it comes to like flying around
Yeah,
in
he
DCS.
is.
And we finally talked him into like just joining the Royal Canadian Air Force because he's like, I don't know what I want to do. We're like, dude, just you have a gift. He's
Yeah.
he ended up
man.
scoring like the top. He was like the
Like-
top qualified guy in testing to get like he got the #1 fighter spot in all of Canada.
Yeah.
It's instant.
When we
Yeah,
we
that's
were
awesome.
like trying to teach him how to fly formation and tack form and other stuff in DCS, and I'm like, he's like, I don't know if I'm learning it. I'm like, you are learning this faster than people I taught in the 38.
Yeah.
Like real no shit people in pilot training, and you are
Yeah.
consuming this knowledge at a rate that is hard for me to deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my boy, Silent.
You're
You're my boy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
We even wrote like recommendation letters for him too. Like busted out
That's
the
awesome.
old official Air Force letterhead and
The
Yes,
official
the
DCS
tongue-
letterhead.
The tongue and quill.
Oh no,
Oh,
not the tongue and
Oh.
quill. No, there's
Deal,
certainly
deal.
beauty in DCS, man. Like some of that stuff, and I think that's where some of my motivation for the videos come from too. Like people who really want to get in depth and study these things, like actually dig into manuals, like learn as much as they can. I'm telling you, like there's a lot of it that applies to the real world, and if you take it serious, man, like you can do some really cool stuff. So
There is power in reading, especially
yeah.
in DCS, because
Yeah.
And that-
these things are deep.
100%.
what that means is that if you fly DCS or other flight sims on your computer, you absolutely can land the airliner if the pilot's become incapacitated. And I think you should always go up and
And
tell
make sure-
them that.
Yeah, yes.
extra points if
do
you're
it.
forklift certified. So,
Extra points if you're forklift
which
certified.
brings me
Yes.
to my first point here before we get too far off track here,
Oh, we're already like
Yeah.
not even anywhere
Yeah,
near the
we're-
target right now. So
way out there.
just fire
Brings me
away.
to my first point. So get back to the DCS and get back to the Herc. Excellent, super well built module, terribly advertised, I think, in the sense of DCS, because there was a couple videos put out there from people who did it, and man, they did not pay it any sort of justice about what it can do, and
Yeah.
all the missions that it can do, and then
That's fair, because there was a couple videos that did come out. There was 3 videos
That's it.
pre-release, and I think 2 of them were interviews, and each one hit the checklist page to show us cargo menus, to show us checklists.
That's it.
But yeah, that might.
No, it was like, look, I can walk around the airplane. Look, I can
I've
kind of
never-
start it. There's a checklist. I flew it for
Dude,
30 seconds.
don't get me
There's your
started.
C-130 review.
None,
I never
none of
thought
them
about
actually
that,
ever
yeah.
started the airplane, because you know how you can tell when you go back and watch all of the videos of, I'm not going to say names, but all the videos of people who had the pre-release Hercules videos, and you look at the APU door and tell me if they hot started that jet, or if they just, because when you spawn it in hot, it's spawned in with the APU on, and you're on APU power, and go watch a certain someone low level ripping it around in the mountains at 300 knots, kicking cargo out the back with the APU door wide open. Like, so they didn't, it was well done, terribly advertised. And that hurt my soul.
Caveat to that, I will say I have seen some videos where dudes are just taking off and leaving the APU on. Like that's and I don't know where that I don't know where that's coming
It's
from.
extra horsepower.
Yeah, okay.
It's because DCS is I can flip 6 switches, start an airplane, and go kill something game.
Yeah.
And now we've dropped in a checklist heavy procedural aircraft, and people don't always want to sit down. There are people that do, but generally there's a lot of people that just want to. They want to get in and go fly, and they don't care if the APU door's open, because all they want to do is see parachutes come out the back.
So moving on to that. So into the first question. So we're going to keep it casual here. So from a semi-professional standpoint, what did they get right about the Hercules and implementing it into the game, and what felt like pretty authentic to you when you like loaded it in? You're like, oh crap, you know.
Yeah, so and you can even see it in my first video. Like when I load in and I start hearing it's simple sounds, right? So like sounds to me are very important. And whenever I hear the caution start like ringing off, I kind of it almost snaps me out of my computer chair and puts me in a like I feel like I'm sitting in the plane. Like it's pretty legit the way that they did the sounds, and that's probably. Like for me, it snaps me into a mode of like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm not at home playing DCS. I'm like in the C-130. And I think if I had VR, it might be another level to that. But I don't have VR currently. I might be working on that soon, hopefully.
You need to get into VR.
I want to.
Listen,
yeah.
There's a level of peasantry that you don't need to be a part of.
Yeah, there's Fifi level, and then there's the rest of us.
I'm not poor. I'm cheap. There's a difference.
No, so nobody said poor, but
he said peasant, not poor.
Yeah,
don't look at me.
Don't make eye contact with me. So the reason I say I don't like the Hercules is I spent more than half my career flying on the Hercules, and I'm just like programmed to sleep on it, because when we're wheels up, I have to sleep, because when we get there, I have to work.
Yep.
And so the sound is so spot on, and I've flown right seat for Scud and Fifi, and like the absolute second I hear that drone, like I'm like, yo, where's my hammock? I need to be sleeping right now. My body's like instantly in this relaxed state, like hitting the top bunk, you know, like.
Listen, there is a level of serenity that comes from that drone, and so like the years that I've spent as a Loadmaster, just sitting in the back trying to take a nap, and the pilots keep yelling at me about checklists, and I'm getting pissed off because I'm trying to nap in the back, right? So I'm like, yeah, complete load. Like, but yeah, you're 100% right. Like there is some of the best naps I've ever had in my life have come in the back of a C-130. So
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's pretty intense. But
so you said the sounds were good. Are there?
Yeah.
What else struck you as right after that as well done?
Yeah, after that goes into some of the systems. So especially as because I think this is like an alpha state of the aircraft, isn't it?
He said it was supposed to be like 99% complete.
I was gonna say, because it feels like it's much more complete than what would be an alpha status. So like it's like as I'm digging through the C and IMU, and I'll even go as far as to talk about like caps. So like I had a couple guys jump into a server with me. We tried to fly formation. And I was able to set caps up as if I was in the actual aircraft, and we went and flew it. The autopilot flew caps without any issues.
Do you have a video in that? So, I need to figure that out next.
I don't, but there's one coming. Okay.
We need that and a really good in-depth like FMS told
Yeah,
video.
I haven't gotten super in depth in the told, but I think I probably will because I forget. And you being in the T1 world, you probably kind of remember, but like folks just don't know anything about told and don't really care. But it's pretty vital, especially in the Herc world. Like if you're doing assault landings, assault takeoffs, like you need to know what your told is. So
It's the thing that itches at me in when I jump in the C-130
yeah,
is that I jump in the FMS and then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I've hit a brick wall.
When Scud and I,
I have no idea
when-
what
when-
numbers go in here,
yeah, that's
and I
yeah,
so want to do it.
yeah. Yeah, we could definitely. I'll try and get something out on that for sure. Because I guess I didn't realize. I know there are people who are interested in, and those are the people I'm trying to make videos for. Yeah, for sure. So, but no, the flight, just all the systems in general, the fact that I can go up. You know, if I don't pull, what was the other thing? I tried to start the engines without running through a checklist at all. I was just doing stuff strictly off of memory, and I didn't pull.
ECBs.
Yeah, I didn't pull the ECBs, and the engines wouldn't start. And I'm like, why are my engines not starting? And I was like, duh, you moron, you didn't pull the ECBs or reset the ECBs. So yeah, like it's stuff like that, man. Like just there's a lot of really small, fine details that really struck me like the very first time that I got in that plane. I was like, this is very well done. Now there's some things that might need to be honed in or hammered out, but from what I understand and some of the guys I've been talking to, they're working pretty hard to get that done. So.
that's cool. That's really cool.
One thing I think you'll appreciate too, like once you get into VR, is like that feeling like when you're sitting there flying and you look out, it has that relationship of like the wing and like kind of like how the flight deck moves independent of each other. I don't know if that like correlates like into flat panel or not.
No, I haven't picked up on any of that.
Yeah, you gotta VR. It's completely different.
It is.
Yeah. And then you turn around and you got like little dangly like cables behind you.
That was the other thing.
Around.
That shocked me. Like when I turned and I saw that the cables were bouncing around, I was like, I think I stared at it for like 30 seconds. I was like, this is crazy.
You can actually click on them. You have to find the spot. I think it's about at the shoulder level of the seat. You can click on it
You can move them around.
You can bounce them around. That's it.
It's the small.
How's that go,
things.
Fifi?
No, I'm not even. No, I'm not giving you guys. I'm not giving you.
You
guys,
said, do
I'm not
what?
giving you guys
Bouncing
crap
around?
anymore, man. This is unbelievable.
This is what the viewers want. This is
Oh,
authenticity.
you know what?
Okay.
Speaking of what the viewers want, we gotta have to ask one question for you. It's the question. Well,
Oh well, hold on. Let's go through some more C-130 before we switch gears that fast. Like you just went from fourth to reverse, dude.
This guy
The transmission
always,
just fell out of the car.
God, for years, this guy's like 4 fans of freedom, and then we get to it, and he's like, "Are we recording tonight? Oh, whatever. I'm gonna go fly helicopters now tonight." He's like, "Oh, let's talk about Sean Connery being the greatest."
All right.
This dude is like,
Systems and behaviors that translated well. You mentioned the caps and some of those. I want to see if there's any other thing that comes to mind. But I have a question. It's one of the things that drives me absolutely insane in the C-130 on DCS. So I need to know if this is accurate or not.
you can know it's going.
Because I've flown airplanes. I've flown big airplanes and small airplanes and airplanes with tiller wheels. And I have never flown an airplane where if you turn the tiller wheel a little too far, it grinds to a halt. And I don't know if it's because the C-130's main gears are trying to, twist on the pavement and that's killing speed, or if that actually happens, or if that's not realistic. But
Let me
it
ask you a
feels like
counter
if
question.
yeah, go ahead.
So when that happens, like what speed are you at roughly?
Anywhere between
Like, are you pretty
Probably-
slow or are you moving
it's
pretty
been
quick?
all speeds really, but I noticed
All
and,
speeds.
like it'll grind me to a halt. Like I try to sit between like 11 and 13 knots ground speed because I remember that's like I
pretty
remember
slow,
that's
though.
like a number for spinning that thing around. And I mean, holy shit, yeah. It almost feels like sometimes that there's not any weight on the nose wheel. This is what the sim feels like to me. And
To be
Now,
fair,
see, sometimes it feels to me like there's just, I don't know, like at a decent, 15, 20 knots,
yeah,
feed in the tiller, and then I'm halfway through my turn having to add sometimes full power on the outboard side to get this thing to turn.
no, I wouldn't call that super realistic. And to be fair, I haven't done any like 180 turns on any runways, anything like that, or any sharp turns even. Really, I find myself struggling just to use my yoke over here to even get it to turn left or right because it's a button instead of like having any kind of like realistic control over the tiller. So I just kind of threw the tiller, like any realism, out of the window. But
Okay.
in the actual aircraft, that doesn't, like, you'll get a little bit of that friction, and you kind of hit the nail on the head with the way that the wheels are. So like they will kind of have like a little bit, because it's a single tandem, so they will kind of have a little bit of like a buckle to them during tight turns. So like when we're pulling into parking or whatever, where like 2 or 3 knots, it will stop you. But usually, like, so you will put in a little bit of power, but it doesn't really take a whole lot. So, and around that speed, if you're just talking about like coming off of a runway or something, no, it typically won't stop you like that. But I'm gonna have to play with that. I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah. I'd be interested to hear what you think on that. What other system struck you as really well done? Anything that
really, so like going through one, let's talk about probably the I'd go into the nav system probably next. Would be the next one that I've noticed is pretty well done. To be fair, as a Block 8 pilot, the nav stuff is a little bit different as far as like command constraints type stuff. So commanding altitudes, airspeed, stuff like that. So I've tried to play with it a little bit. I've got some of the guys I've been talking to are Block 6 guys, so they've been helping me out like with understanding the box because it is a little bit different. But as far as being able to just like throw in certain waypoints or even move the digimap around to be able to grab waypoints and then make custom points based off of where the digimap is at, like that's been excellent. Now, caveat to that is one thing I have noticed is in multi-cockpit. So whenever you have 2 people in the same aircraft, I don't know what the issue is with the digimap, but if you try to slew it around, I have been having some issues with that. So I think that they've noted it, and I think they're working on it, but that's one of the hiccups that I've noticed.
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny is like the digimap thing. I just learned that like this past week after watching one of your videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no shit.
Yeah.
I've been like slinging it around everywhere.
Yeah, it's super handy.
That was really
Yeah, you could just click along whatever route you want to fly.
punch it in.
Just
Yeah,
go
that was
after it,
really
man.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
I still got to figure out like how to be able to, like, the only thing is like sometimes I'll do just a direct 2 in the FMS, and then like once I've reached that waypoint, like I try to like delete it out of there because it bugs me while it's sitting there, and I'm like, man, I can't get rid of this direct 2 after I've already hit it, and it's like left, it's left the INS, but
Talking about after you've flown over the
yeah.
waypoint, it should auto
yeah,
remove
no, it
it.
doesn't. That's weird. Maybe I'm doing something screwed up though. It's probably me. I'll admit. Yeah,
What are the
there's a pretty
chances?
good chance.
What are the odds?
You actually have to fly with precision.
Listen,
over
the
it,
aircraft
maybe?
that I flew.
Roughly.
You remember
roughly.
the aircraft that I flew was running off of Windows 95 on a Linux system. remember that?
This one's not far off. It's not that far off. So
It's an old Atari.
Yeah.
It's down under the cockpit.
yeah, basically.
I did not like the nav system. I hated it.
Yeah.
I talked about this a little bit on the first Herc episode we did not long ago. I described it to Fifi and Jimmy from the instructor's perspective as a student who has no idea what the hell they're doing. You're like, hey, I need you to go get on course. And then they like reef over and overshoot the course line. And then they correct back. And it,
Are you
it
talking about
always
the
felt
autopilot?
like, yeah, the way the autopilot interfaces with it and how it flew.
Yes.
And then I talked to a guy that was a Herc guy and he was like, oh no, that's exactly how it flies.
It is it is actually pretty accurate. Yeah, it's unnerving how accurate that is.
I was like, there's no way that J model autopilot is this bad.
This
is a total mistake on the developer's part. Nope. They nailed it.
But hey, look, to be fair, the Herc is meant to be flown in environments where we don't really care about the white line, right? So we're just kind of out there doing our own thing. But there are times where if you're just at 24,000 feet flying along and you want a white line, it does great. But if you're doing anything tactical related to nav, yeah, it's going to give you some hiccups. So
I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, Herc guy, what is the difference between a
He has a name.
C-17
Hey, you Herc guy.
I've been called
two-piece flight suit?
I've been called worse.
No, two-piece flight suit guy What's the difference between a Hercules and a C-17, the single flight suit people?
Okay, you're gonna get me hemmed up here. So
Let's go. I'm with you. Let's go.
yeah, so we'll go. I'm just gonna keep it political here. We'll go tactical airlift versus strategic airlift, and then we'll leave it
Bingo.
at that. So yeah, there's some
Bingo.
I've met some good dudes in the C-17 community, but C-130s and C-17s we just do things a little bit different. So yeah, we'll just leave it there.
This would be a good time, Fifi, for you to ask your question.
Good question. Oh,
Let me stand on that real quick. So C-17 strategic airlift, it brings big boxes, big tanks, big amounts of cargo everywhere in the world, right?
Yep.
It flies into main bases. It moves strategic stuff at strategic levels. C-130 tactical level airlift will tactically insert at the tactical level. Like there's not a lot of places you can't take that plane. There's not a lot of
Thank
places
God
you
we're not
can't
playing
deliver cargo.
right now.
And that airplane is
I love
very,
the way Jimmy. I know
very,
exactly
very
what Jimmy's
special.
saying, but he's like, tactical airlift will tactically deliver tactical stuff
was-
at a
that
tactical
was-
point,
tactically.
and it'll do it
That was the
tactically.
most first sergeant thing I've ever heard you say. That was-
He's not knife handing.
Yeah,
right now, though.
baby. No, it is
It
a
is.
very big difference. Like a lot of people see a C5, C-17, C-130, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's the cargo planes. This one doesn't carry enough." No, it's completely different. Like
Totally
you
different
can't compare them.
operation.
Yeah.
One of them's refined,
And
and
I
one of
think-
them's rugged, which
Yeah.
is why it's a great time to ask the question.
Speaking of refined and rugged, so
there's
here is the
great
question.
transition.
In a dogfight, who would win? Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt flying a P-51, or Sean Connery as James Bond in a Spitfire?
So not the actors in real life.
Characters
We're
they
talking
play.
about the characters that they portrayed in their corresponding movie series. So the Sean Connery James Bond, Sean Connery, and then Middletooth
Little too
Tom Cruise
Yep.
couldn't open a C-17 door for 17 minutes running down a 28-mile runway. Who would win in a dogfight between the American-made P-51 Mustang or the gentleman's Spitfire?
I have to say that I bleed red, white, and blue. So I can't go too much into the character level of things, but the P-51's gonna win in my heart every time.
Indication.
Vindication.
Every time.
Vindicate.
Shut it off. We're done.
Fifi's making ground now. He's just now getting his
He is.
He's just getting the top of his head above water on this one.
We're probably at like 13-5 now.
Well, I think it's because you guys just pitch everybody against me though, because it's fun to shit on Fifi. So
It is fun to shit on Fifi. And when this dogfight kicks off, Sean Connery will saunter over to the Spitfire and start it up, take off, orbit, and the entire time he's orbiting, Tom Cruise is still running to the airplane.
That is a very fair statement. That is an incredible statement.
And all I hear is ding, 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 ding.
All right, back on topic.
Like,
Totally different from the way we started this. What things stuck out to you as not accurate? What were the things that you saw that were, if there are any, that were like obvious departures from the real airplane?
Most of the problems that I've run into have come in the multiplayer sense of the aircraft. And so what I mean by that is there's like a lot of desync between like pilot co-pilot. So I know some of the guys that I've been flying with, they're trying to come up with workarounds. It seems like a lot of it has to do with like custom data points that have been put in for whatever reason.
I've noticed that.
So whenever you log in or you hop into the co-pilot seat, if you have a different saved file than what your pilot has, then you guys are going to be completely desynced. So I had one issue where I was trying to help instruct the guy on how to like just get the aircraft started and take off. And he was like telling me he's putting in all these like inputs, and the C9U looked completely crazy to me. So like it looked like he wasn't entering in anything, and he just kept like putting the same buttons over, like hitting 3 over and over and over and over again. And so like for me, I'm like I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, well, you're not putting in anything that I'm telling you to put in. So like you have the instructor background, right? So it probably was very much like that, like where you're flying with a brand new student, and you're like, dude, what are you doing? And that was kind of like that moment that I had. And he's like, my guy, like I'm doing exactly what you're telling me to do. I don't understand what you're saying. So it like created this like huge just disconnect between us two. So I had to like hop out of the aircraft and like watch his stream to be able to instruct him through that. So that would be like the biggest problem that I've noticed so far, and I'm hoping that gets fixed, because that's like one of the biggest selling points for the C-130 is the multi-crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where it's going to thrive and where it's going to feel the most
Scott
real.
and I like to argue
And
about who goes to sit who goes and sits in the right seat, because we're all like, no, I want to sit in the right seat. No, I want to sit in the right seat. No, I want to run the
Yeah.
track.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few things on that. One, that the fact that that's one of the biggest things you found wrong is multi-crew desync. That's a huge testament to how well they've done with the module.
Yeah.
And two, the crew aspect is really interesting to me, which is why it bothers me that we can't do really effective multi-crew in it yet, because it's a huge departure from DCS as it was before.
Yeah.
Even multi-crew airplanes, it's like, I'll fly, you shoot the missiles and guns, or I'll fly, you do the targeting in the back, or you run the radar. But for it to be like multi-crew style flying in a real multi-crew airplane where the guy that's hand flying is calling for mode changes on the flight director, and then the other person's pushing those in, and that where you're sharing the responsibility of flying and navigating the airplane, rather than one person flies and one person does a totally different job.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that, but yeah, the multi-crew is not really permitting that entirely yet. I do have a funny story about multi-crew desync. Watching Fifi and Free Biggie fly, and this was the first time we realized there was some interesting multi-crew desync in the FMS or the CNI. See, I think it was Free asked what the tone button is, and I'm like, oh, it sends a noise out over the radio. It's great if the tone button works. I've been waiting for a tone button in DCS so I can tone people.
Yes.
And so he pushes tone, and it's not making any sound. But in Fifi, sitting in the left seat, is getting a tone in his ear the whole time. And then whenever Fifi turned it off, it would tone Free. So they're both each turning it off, and they're just toning each other the whole time they're flying. And nobody else in DCS can hear it. It's just them toning each other.
Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah, that was
that's epic.
Yeah, so we had to take it in shifts. That's what we did. It was on the Cold War Germany map. We had like
Take your headset off. Be
it
like,
was
all right,
a
dude, I got 5 minutes.
like 35-mile flight too. Like
I know. I was with you.
It's like 45 minutes. But
The
Yeah.
other multi-crew gripe I have is that the jump seat doesn't slide forward where you can manipulate that third CNI or see anything.
Yeah, that is strange.
Move that seat up.
Yeah, because like most of the time, and it's weird. Wait, I got a bone to pick that I need to call out right now, because that third seat in the J model is specifically for the Loadmaster. So I want to make that clear. Okay, or you, that's fine too. So, but typically we're going to have the Loadmaster in there. There are no flight engineers in the J model. I just want to make that just get that out there so everybody knows. Because I keep hearing like people are like, yeah, that's the flight engineer seat. No, not in the J model. That's the Loadmaster seat. That's where they go. So
Get it right.
Yeah. So just a clerical hiccup. So, but no, yeah, that is kind of strange. I haven't really played with the third seat too much, but I think having that third, like if you did have somebody in the aircraft with you in multi-crew, like to be able to also help in there, like build tack plots or build waypoints or whatever it is that you need, if for whatever reason, like if you're fighting threats or something like that, and the two pilots
Or sit on dispenser.
Yeah, even that too. Like there's a lot of potential for that. So that would be nice to have that third CNIMU activated and kind of ready to go.
It's functioning. It's just that seat sits so far back
you can't see anything.
that you can't reach or read it or see it. And it's like, but there's rails on the floor where that seat would slide forward.
Yeah,
because
because that's
functioning.
That's typically where we sit. We don't really use that desk. Like that desk is designed to like hold the forms and hold a bunch of crap that we don't need at the moment.
Holds like flight bags and lunch boxes.
Yeah. My mid-flight snack sits back there. Like that's what that is. And so, the load is usually like the seat is typically like moved up to where that C&I mute is, and they're sitting back there helping us with fuel panel and monitoring the engines and all kinds of stuff while we're taking off or just in certain environments. So
Yeah.
He'd be like the NOAA guys who wears like the train engineer hat as he's like got his hands on the throttles in the WP3s. That's a wild video to watch.
The one thing I would say though about the multi-crew, though, that is on every module I think that's ever come out that's multi-crew. There, that's always been like the Achilles heel, and I think it's something that has to be fleshed out once it's actually out in the public and people are actually flying it, dispersed, across several servers. Because I don't know if it in closed beta, if that's something that can be fleshed out, because maybe when they're in the same instance, same building,
Right.
it doesn't flesh out the same way it would when it's out in the wild.
I'm gonna put on my pretend beard. So imagine I have a slightly grayed but normally red beard and a hat on right now.
Beautiful.
And that I'm sitting in
Gorgeous.
front of the podcasting couch. And I'm gonna say,
slightly salt and peppered.
yeah, I'm gonna say that that if you are a fly by yourself person and you have the C-130, stop hating yourself, go join a group and fly with other people.
Yeah, stop hating yourself.
This module's made to be flown as a crew.
I do want to.
It is, because I tell you what, that checklist by yourself sucks.
I do want to.
and look, I know the checklist and it still sucks. So
Right.
It's better than not having anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs some work.
I do one thing I still have to stand on and say that they hit like out of the park, because like the Phantom did it really well with how they interface with like the you can get checklists, you can get like web browsers and things like that. In the Corsair, I want something on that table that pops out, but that new checklist that pops out with the Hercules is awesome, and I want that in everything.
Yeah, and I hope that didn't come out wrong. What I meant by it still sucks is like running the checklist on your own.
Oh yeah, no.
However,
no, that came out. No, that was Crystal.
The checklist itself, like the way that they designed it, the nav portion that is included with that, like with the waypoints and everything that you can grab, dude, it's next level. Like it
just turning the airplane on. Turn it to off, turn it on, turn it on.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, turn it to on. Like everything.
The other thing I'll say too is they've been fairly receptive to feedback. So like there was a couple of instances of like things that I noticed may have been either like crossed up or backwards, and I made a comment about it here or there in a video or in a chat somewhere, and they're like Johnny on the spot to get it fixed. So
that's nice to hear.
Yeah, so they've been very receptive to feedback. So
I think there's a lot of pride in this project. So.
Yeah.
And it shows, because other modules don't come out finished like this one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So this is a good, talking about the crew stuff, this is a good transition into another question. And that is the tempo. How does this module in DCS capture the tempo?
I'm gonna let you have your moment.
Understanding that granted, all DCS, the tempo is slowed down because of the switch manipulation.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you say something.
Go ahead,
but I just
Phoebe.
want to let you know Taylor Swift had the best album of all time. But no.
Oh, Swifty. Yeah.
But yeah. No, so I want to get into this though, because like right now, I think this question is a dual-headed monster that needs to be addressed in DCS, is because right now the Herc is vastly underused in DCS because of how it's integrated in. Like, it's integrated really well, but I think there's still more that could be done with it when it comes to integration of the mission, because like right now 99% of the servers just use it. You spawn in the jet, load some Mavericks in, and take them up to the next base for Arctic to go rifle them all off on a target, right? And then that's it. And then you just go back and do it, and you're just a trash truck. But I'm insanely passionate about all the other stuff that the Herc can do, like how the HCs do, like the CSAR stuff, and like hopefully, fingers crossed, that the HCMC thing is an actual thing, and we're gonna see a Combat King in DCS. That would be really cool. But like, because of that, back to my point, because of that, the Hercules only requires one person to fly it because you're just flying it like a freaking trash truck and not
Yeah.
like an actual tactical aircraft, because like we said earlier, the Hercules is a combat aircraft, unlike other transports out there. And so I remember on our first episode, like Scud and I said that, you're flying a single pilot and you're just kind of doing like the trash truck stuff. You're only using 10% of the module. And,
Yeah.
and I think people need to see what it all really could do. So I think something that would be really cool for you to do would be I want to see, like, maybe and we'll help maybe build some missions to like really show like the really sexy stuff that it can do.
Yeah, to showcase the ops that people don't know about. I mean, like
I'm
when we
glad-
first got the C-130, one of the first things me and Fifi did after we figured out I started up was I talked him through a low-level airdrop.
Yeah.
And like the slowdown and the configuration and the safe escape afterward. Well, nobody's doing that because nobody knows that exists.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's there's a heavy piece to that, because I mean a lot of people, it really depends. I think that there's going to be a very specific crowd that's going to appease, and the reason I say that is to get into some of the deeper levels of the Herc. It's going to take a little bit of knowledge, and it comes to guys. There's another guy that has another actual Herc pilot that has some videos as well. And him and I are kind of trying to help some folks out in understanding those things. And we may be able to, maybe if we even, collude with you guys and try to come up with some kind of way to get some of that info out to the community. Because right now, like you said, if all you're doing is logging in, loading a couple of pieces of equipment, if you're even doing an airdrop, or landing in an LZ and dropping it off and then taking back off, the interest is gonna burn out a little bit, and you may even be seeing that currently. So I think, like you said, if you find a way to truly integrate some of the actual, maybe not so much into the mission planning piece of it, but just the understanding of, like you said, like what am I looking for on a low level, or why does this even matter? Like, do I just go out and fly at 100 feet, or is there actual technique to this to get me to a location safely, and then be able to accomplish the mission and then return somewhere else, or just continue on with a different mission? So you can get pretty complicated with it, but I think people think, oh, Herc cargo aircraft, yeah, we'll just go move cargo around. That's it. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of versatility, and I think it's a lot of that's going to come from knowledge from actual aircraft, like people who are around this community, to be able to start kind of spreading that info out.
So while you were just saying that, you guys both hit in on the head, and I think it comes down to the community. And we have to be good stewards of what we're given, because DCS does a really good job of giving us the tools to make the environment that we want to play with these, toys that we have. And so I just went to the user files and I looked at the single player missions specifically for the C-130. And while there's some airframes that have over 200, 300 single player missions inside the user files that are approved, for distribution, there's only 7 for the Hercules. And the first one is the Afghanistan rotator, and the second one is the cargo mover. Like, I think we as a community probably need to come together and put together a community project, some user file projects to where we can actually employ this, because you both alluded to it. It's, we have to be good stewards of this. Otherwise we don't get to use it,
I think I'm hoping that somebody puts together a really solid campaign that just showcases all of the different things it can do.
Yeah.
I want to do firefighting in it. That would be
that. Yeah. Hey, look.
Insane.
Somebody needs to mod it with the MAF system.
How awesome would that be?
But campaigns where the mission walks you through like how to do low level airdrop and what's important, and how to do like halo drops, and how to do firefighting and tactical, like how to do a tactical approach, not just fly to an airport.
How to drop EOD guys onto Godzilla.
Yeah. With all that being said about the different types of missions, then back to the question, how does the module capture the tempo between when multi-crew is working, the task saturation, the workload, the, systems, aircraft management, all of that. Or if it doesn't capture it all now, do you think it will be able to when those type of missions become available?
Yeah, I think right now I wouldn't call it completely there, and the reason why is because the aircraft itself is so complex that it does take 2 people to fly that plane. Technically 3 if you include the load, or 4 if you have 2 loads, right? So there's a lot that happens.
Or 10 if you have a Raven team.
I mean, yeah, there's that as well. So
Those guys are sleeping.
yeah,
Don't worry about
yeah,
them.
When we're in the air.
they're in the hammocks ready to go. So
Oh,
they're
Exactly.
That needs to be added.
a
When
hammock.
you load cargo, you just need to load a 10-man Raven team, and it just loads hammocks hanging
Yeah.
in the cargo
Dude,
bay.
that is exactly. I tell these guys all the time, like the absolute moment we're taxing and we have like 45 packs in the back, a couple pallet positions. My ass is already inside my hammock.
But-
and
but of
everyone's
that-
just staring at me
but
like,
of that 10
who's this
of that 10
motherfucker?
men-
I'm like, I'm the guy that's going to shit in front of
but
you in an hour.
of that
Like,
10-man Raven team, one of them needs to be Jimmy sitting on the honeypot in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this beard. You need to make it real too. Like make it so the hammocks swing when you maneuver the plane, so you can just shake those guys.
No. You have bouncy butts in the bottom of the hammocks. That's really what it is.
Somebody's hammock tears and they fall out. You're like, oh well.
Straight on the packs.
Yeah.
No, you have like an ISU 90. Somebody's on top of it with like a sleeping bag with like this much room between that and the top.
It's not real unless somebody's sleeping on top of a pallet. So until somebody's sleeping on a pallet, I don't believe it. So
Yes.
yeah. Hey, I do have a question for you before I hit the tempo question. Where was your hammock spot?
So I would always be front right, like underneath all the survival stuff.
Okay. So mine was always at the ramp and door hinge. So like the reason why is because it gets super cold back there. So I'd like have a blanket and just be sucked up into my blanket, dude. It was. Oh,
I
man.
had a lightweight sleeping bag that I would carry with me because I had to be able to do both Africa and Europe.
Yep.
Because it takes us like, what's the flight time to get down there? 18 hours because you have 9 hours down to like Algiers, and then from Algiers another like 9-10 hour leg, like duty day waiver all day.
Oh yeah.
And so like I can't go too far aft because the floor heat doesn't work back there like good enough. I'd just be back there freezing.
Yep.
And so I would always be front right or up in the bunk, or if the flying crew chief wasn't up there, I would take third seat and just sit up there. So depending on if I was on first or second guard.
Yeah.
So
Well-
most of the time I tried to sit like third seat.
Yeah.
So
Good place to be, unless it's a
Yeah.
bad landing, and then it's a scary place to be. So, but no, back to the tempo question. I really think that once they get the multi-crew piece of it kind of fleshed out, that's where you're going to see the tempo become more realistic. So when you have a co-pilot running checklists, a pilot calling for checklists, and then those checklists being accomplished in a timely manner while also executing the mission, I think that's when you're going to see the realistic tempo come out. Because right now, if I go out and fly a low level and I'm just hitting stuff that I know I need to hit, right? Like I'm like, okay, cool. I need to turn this on. I need to flip this switch to auto. Cool. I'm ready for an airdrop, but I have nobody confirming anything. I'm just kind of just hitting stuff that I know I need to hit because I know I have to hit it. And that's it. Like it's not realistic. It's not realistic yet.
when you're leaning towards game and not towards sim side of it.
Correct.
Well, I think in order for us to see that become a reality, and still yourself, Fifi, don't get too excited. The only way that that's going to start to work its way out into the community is for people who know, people like you and other people who know the Herc and the ops. Somebody out there needs to put together a Herc Milsim squadron.
Yeah.
Because you're not just going to get casual players that jump in and want to take the time to learn because it's not just running a checklist. Like you said, it's the discipline of knowing which checklist to call for and when.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that if we could get a Herc Milsim squadron running with people that were really interested in getting to that level of depth in it, that's where that knowledge is going to start to permeate.
Yeah, I agree.
It's infectious too, because it's not just like flying like milsim or flying, a game or simulator. Like it is a really true dynamic situation. Like I can remember like meeting up with the squadron, everybody loading inside, whatever we're taking out, and we pull up to our tail that day and everybody's jumping out, 10 to 12 people, and everyone's, it's like that, the sun is barely rising, it's early morning nautical twilight, and everybody, we crack, front crew door, ramp goes down, and we're there 45 minutes, hour before any packs or cargo, and we start throwing our shit up, and the whole crew, we've already gone through mission planning, we've gone through intel, and we've already backwards planned everything, and we're ready to go on this, 4 or 5 day field trip together to take 8 people and 2 pallets somewhere, in the world that nothing else can go.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so let's do gun hot. Gun's hot.
gun hot. We got a musket today.
Jaren, these are questions that they're shotgun one answer ish questions that are meant to be stupid that
Funny.
you have never heard before. In fact, me and Jimmy have not heard them before, and so they're just kind of like a somewhat rapid fire.
I'm not allowed to hear them because I laughed too hard
Yeah.
going into it.
I hope this is not trivia based.
No.
These are
It's like, I'm
purely
screwed.
dumb. You
you're
probably
good.
won't be able to answer half of them just because you'll be laughing. That's the
intent.
So,
Good.
This is for entertainment value,
and it's
not educational value.
No, this is serious.
the
This is
story
100%
behind this
serious.
though.
Right,
Oh, as I was.
I'm
The
in.
story behind this though.
Lock
We
in.
were
Big eyes.
supposed to do this at the very beginning of the episode.
God, there we go. I got it.
Oh,
I'm locked in.
But and we were supposed to do this at the very beginning of the episode because it's supposed to loosen everybody up. But yeah, we always forget about it. So
That's fair.
so guns hot questions.
Oh my
You
gosh.
ready?
Yo. Dude wags when he said he would give people Hello Kitty leveries if they can do cold starts the first time. You got competition, be
Here
best.
we go.
Let's
Here we
go.
go. Guns hot. All right. If the DCS Herc had a crew override button, what would you enable first?
Jettison.
What's the fastest you've personally seen a simple airlift hop turn into a full-blown Michael Bay style film?
Oh God.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Everyone that Fifi or that Jimmy was on.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
I don't even have an answer for that.
all of them.
I don't even-
The Herc doesn't do anything
Yeah,
boring. It's
that's-
like literally there's an American flag everywhere in that freaking plane.
You should
Like,
see how many eagles I've flown past. So,
and they salute the Herc.
yeah. Oh, excuse me, sir. Let me get out of your way.
If there was a C-130 only DCS achievement called Loadmaster's Nightmare, what would a pilot have to do to unlock it?
Hit negative G's.
That's fair. What's the
Okay.
most cursed thing you've ever watched another Herc driver try to do? What's the most
What's the
cursed
what?
thing you've ever watched another Herc driver try to do? So you don't have to self-incriminate here.
Well, we were talking about the honeypot earlier. So yeah, it just involves the honeypot. We'll just leave it there.
Poop
got
joke
one.
implied.
Yeah.
I got one. Middle of Africa, bringing it in, landing it after a lightning radome strike, frying absolutely everything.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
shit.
God.
That was adventure.
All right, next one. What would you think the equivalent of hearing your loadmaster say, "Sir, you might want to come look at this"? What happened?
Oh, I fucked
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Does that involve a honeypot?
Yeah, absolutely it does.
Let's see.
Come check this out, pilot. This is I got one for you.
All right, 2 more questions. Here we go.
There's some shit loaded back here.
If the C-130 had a sarcasm mode, what would it mutter every time a pilot flares at 200 feet?
Altitude. Fucking every single time, man.
Last question.
Pitch and Betty all the time.
Last
Pitch it.
question. How often do you watch another Herc land in a DCS and think that pilot just bought himself a safety brief?
Every one of them. Every landing.
That's it.
My first one in the C-130 and DCS
Yeah,
was
we put
definitely
it-
safety brief. Fifi
Yeah, we
was
put
on
it
board
up.
for
Ooh.
that one.
We'll put it up on
Listen.
the
Have you ever? I got a question for you. Do you ever cringe when you overspeed anything in DCS?
In DCS?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Is it just the sound? It just triggers it?
It just well, so like I
click, 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 click.
accidentally I was
Well, you
like
could-
trying to click the lights, like turn the lights off, and I accidentally lowered the gear and I think it was like 170 something knots already. And I was like, oh, dude, like I like was like, we have to turn around.
Overspeed
Like I
the
got to
gear,
turn
yeah.
around and land. We just oversped the gear. Like
Wait,
that was what went through my head.
what
I was
is-
like, wait a minute, wait, don't.
You can overspeed the gear and the gear and the flaps are like wildly
What's the-
oversped
what's
in
the
those things.
overspeed?
Oh, yeah.
What's the overspeed for the gear?
168.
Oh,
Flying.
man.
Oh yeah,
Fifi,
everybody's
how many safety
overspeeding.
briefs are you backed up on there?
So listen,
Yeah.
talking about safety briefings on landings, I was trying to do a landing, and this is in DCS, mind you. This was not real life. So I was trying to do a landing. I was about 1,000 feet high, about a mile away from 1,000 AGL, about a mile away from the field. So we're at a 10-degree FPA trying to like land here, right? And so I just
Yeah,
dumped
steep.
the nose. I just dumped the nose. I'm like, we got it. And I forgot what buttons I had the nose wheel steering set to. And so I landed, but this was also when I didn't understand that you could move the reverse, like where the reverse detent is at in the settings. And so I tried to go into ground idle or flight idle, and I went into reverse, and I started like the aircraft started trying to flip on me. So I freaked out, like put the power back in, and I ended up making the landing. I landed on the runway. But by the time I hit the ground, got on the brakes, and got reverse going, I had flipped complete. I was at 180 degrees turn. Like I turned back towards the way that I was coming from. And I was like, I don't know how I ended up here, but we didn't die. We're here. Like I'm still alive. So
Like a glove.
So you
Fast
went
and Furious.
ooh to back to ooh.
yeah,
Fast and
I
Furious,
gotta remember.
Hercules Drift.
yeah, it was one of the most intense landings I've
gotta
had for
remember.
sure.
I can hear the cinema of noise of like what you're describing, because those are like very
Oh,
distinct
yeah.
sounds.
Yeah, it was a very interesting time.
I gotta remember.
Does
Like,
it,
you don't even
does
have
it
to
get
look.
tippy in real life? Like if you're not.
Yeah,
Careful.
it will. So like if you're and I tried to explain this to some folks because I know like if you come into land, it almost felt a little aggressive, but in the actual aircraft because the wings like your lift, it's called blown lift. So like all the lift is like well not all of it, but a lot of your lift is coming from the engines blowing air back onto the wing, and so as you're moving your power, your nose is shifting. So that's a real thing. So if you're moving your power a bunch, you're gonna start oscillating as you come in for landing. But what I noticed is it would do it even if I didn't touch the power at all.
Yeah.
And so it seems like they fleshed that out. It seemed like it was better. I don't know if maybe I was just doing something different, but you kind of want to like hold the rudder a little bit with a little bit of aileron, and you can come in and land that thing fine. But yeah, it will get it'll move around on you quite a bit.
Do you ever find yourself like chasing like your VVI, like when you're doing power adjustments?
Not so much VVI, more so the CDM and the Ghost Flight Path Marker. So like you're kind of trying to focus in more on like the HUD, like the central part of the HUD versus looking at the entirety of the HUD. So you kind of start losing. You want to like keep it in your cross check, but just kind of quick glances. But I don't really focus in too hard on my VVI until I'm getting ready to
Not gonna
land.
lie, I'm a
Or could you give us a 30-second like flying DCS? What's a good cross check inside the Herc that you do?
If you're talking about for landing,
Just for all stages
That's
of
funny
flight.
because that's no offense. This is just funny to me. That's such a non-pilot question. Because you can never tell somebody, here's your cross check.
yeah.
I mean, like what is good stuff to look at?
Hey, I have a great video about that actually. It
Shameless-
talks about the
shameless
HUD.
plug.
But
Do you?
so yeah, shameless plug there. No,
What website is this? www.what?
yeah, so youtube.com. No,
It's Only4Fans.com.
yeah.
FlyEverForward
So
on YouTube.
so no, for me, like typically what I'm checking is, and it depends on what phase of flight I'm in. So my cross check kind of shifts and changes depending on what we're doing and where we're at. But like just general flight, really, you're just kind of checking. Like if you're rebugging speeds, like I'll look up to the top left of the airspeed indicator, and it'll show you what your bug speed is. So like as I set a speed, I'll cross check it up there and down in the ref. Sorry, excuse me, in the ref set panel.
Bless you.
And then, thanks. And like make sure that it's actually what I wanted or intended to set, and then that's pretty much it. And then from there on, you're just kind of just checking it. But the HUD makes it so much easier than like flying a T1 or something like that, where you're actually physically having to look down into the aircraft. That's the whole purpose of the HUD, is to be able to keep your eyes outside. So it makes the cross check pretty simple.
Just staring
Nice
through the
HUD.
glass.
Did you ever fly or sit on, like, how much of a difference is there between H and the J?
I never flew on an H.
Okay.
I do have a buddy of mine who is an H model pilot, and he just went and flew on the J, and he's like, dude, it's revolutionary, like completely different.
'Cause I flew H, but I was always in the back, like team member.
Yeah.
Like they're
Well,
like, don't even look at the pilot.
There's two
Yeah.
less. There's two
No
less
eye
people on the
contact.
flight deck in an H model versus a J model. Like an H model has two more.
Well,
people.
two more, yeah. And H model pilots seem to hate J model pilots, so it's always fun.
Yeah, because
So-
it's like, well, my plane had a manual transmission. You can't even drive that nowadays, you stupid kids. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, yeah, what are you without your HUD? I'm like, well, I'm an idiot without a
Yeah,
HUD,
like-
so that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So
All right, sorry,
No,
I
no, no,
interrupted.
no,
Fifi,
it's funny
you had
that you said
something.
that.
My bad.
because
I had
it's
a
like
pop up.
my favorite model was the old Talon 2, the H Talon 2s, because I just love that big
Yeah.
ugly nose on it. But like growing up and hanging
Oh, yeah.
out with like navs and flight engineers at FEs and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, we don't have any more jobs. We don't know what we're doing anymore. Like, we don't know what to do anymore.
Welcome to UAVs.
yeah,
Really.
yeah, UAVs. A lot of them became
Yeah.
pilots. A lot of those guys, especially the flight engineers and some of the navs, ended up going through pilot training. But some of them, they did go off to UAVs or just completely different career fields as a whole.
I flew with a
Uh,
few of them. Actually, there's a funny story. I had a Herc. I think he was an actual pilot that ended up. He was in the UAVs. He was in MQ9s with me, and he was my shop chief, and in our 2-man shop. So I was the NCOIC as an A1C, but yeah,
Nice.
he would sit in the back of the shop with his feet, because we were in Vegas, and with his feet up on the desk. He would be on the phone in the squadron talking to his bookie all the time, making sports bets. And, and anytime we would talk, like while all the fighter pilots and the bomber guys were all like, talking about dropping bombs and doing all this cool stuff, he would just like walk right through the middle of conversations and scream 4 fans of freedom, 16 blades of justice, and just like walk right out the door. That was it. That's where I got it from.
While you were talking, I did a little artwork real quick. And I know that everyone else has already seen this, because I hope to God we're going to put it at the beginning of the video. But we need our guests to see it too. So I'm going to share it real quick.
Yeah,
if that's
you can share
okay.
it.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Eventually, Scud. There it goes.
It's so stupid, and I love it.
That will be the
There we
thumbnail
go.
for.
Only-
That's got to be a sticker. That has to be a sticker.
Oh my gosh. It absolutely needs to be a sticker.
that has to be a sticker.
We'll send you some, and you can zap the inside
I
of
will
your
start
own
tagging
squadron.
them everywhere. Just tagging them stickers all over the place.
Man,
Put that on the
Yeah.
SFL pit.
All right, Fifi, you got next.
I think that's it. We actually managed to hit everything that we wanted to talk about in this one, and then more. We even made plenty of poop jokes. So like,
Yeah.
We
checklist
did.
complete. Like Miller time at this point. Like we're good.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question. Everybody likes good questions. What has been your most memorable
yeah,
mission
that's a
so
good one.
far?
Memorable
Of course it is. I
mission.
came up with it.
So you want to hear a pilot mission or a load mission?
Either or both. ¿Por qué no dos?
Okay.
I want pilot. This is DCS. We only do pilot stuff around
No.
here.
I want both.
Yeah. So pilot mission. We had one here recently. Like, so for me, like family is super important to me. And I'm the first pilot out of our family. And so, they've been, super supportive, very proud of just kind of everything that I've been able to do. And I had the opportunity, to go VFR, near the area of their house and give a flyover to some of my family members, and within all legal context and boundaries. But you know, it was, so that was a pretty surreal moment. Like full.
Did he tip a wing?
Oh yeah, I got to give him the whole wave, you know. So so that was as a pilot, like being able to physically fly that aircraft like halfway across the country to go fly over somebody's house and just kind of say hello and then leave, like to go continue whatever else we were doing, was very, very. It was a huge moment for me.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, that was a very surreal moment. And then as a load, we had a. Without getting into too much detail, it was one of our air medical evacuation missions that we did, and some of the people that you deal with and that you see on some of those missions and the stuff that they've had to go through, and it can be pretty humbling, a very humbling experience. So I wouldn't call it like
those are long flights when you have the full medical crew in the back, then you have all the patients.
Yeah, they can. And those guys are they're so good at what they do too. Like just kind of, you know, like as a load, like I didn't have to do anything. Like they do everything that they set the aircraft up, they do everything that they're supposed to do, and to be able to get those people to where they're supposed to go and get them to the help that they need. So that was like some of those aeromedical evacuation missions that I did were probably some of the coolest that I've ever done.
Super gratifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those like, hey, I have an actual purpose here kind of moments. So
Yep. Well, thank you for being here. Go ahead, Fifi. You got the warning? That's a good time to wrap it up then. Thank you for joining us. Everyone go check out FlyEverForward on YouTube. Jaren, thank you for being here. And we got to fly sometime.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to learn. I want to learn.
Hold on. Do you guys know anywhere that we could fly? Do you guys know anywhere we could fly? Airplanes?
I've heard that there's a public server, like the high angle. Yeah, something.
Laboratorians.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. High Alpha Hooligans public servers up. The world
We
tour.
got two.
Let's make it happen. Yeah, we need to make that happen.
So if you search, you know, we plug in us now.
Yeah.
And Fox 3. So if you go on to, because we say if you fly solo and just campaigns, you hate yourself. So if you want to, you know, take yourself out of self-loathing and you want to enjoy life, you know, go fly with people, and you don't even have to turn on Discord or SRS or comms or anything. Go into multiplayer, search High Alpha Hooligans World Tour.
HAH World Tour.
HAH. No, you got to write the whole thing out. We require spelling. There's no more passwords, so you have to spell it correctly. So, High Alpha Hooligan World Tour. We have two dynamic persistent campaigns running right now. One is on the free map, no mods, Caucasus, modern day. So if you have anything in DCS, even the Christian Eagle, you can fly that in our campaign. And then on our second campaign server, thank you, Fox 3, completely sponsored by Fox 3. We are running World War II Normandy right now. It just kicked off. And last night, our first flights of players went across the pond and struck first targets over in France. So,
Hell yeah. Jimmy, want to wrap this up? Dad advice?
Dad advice. Yeah. So
every single. How many episodes have we put out? And every single one, he's like completely caught off guard.
I think we have like 220 videos now or something, and I'm like, huh? So dad advice: college is not free. Don't expect dads to pay for it. An excellent way to pay for your education: go join the military, because you're probably looking at 4 people right now with probably between 9 and I'd say 15 degrees between all of us, and I would guarantee we haven't spent a single dollar aside from books. So.
Free.
I know. Yeah, 100%. And look at us now.
Look at us now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, if you're bored in life and you're not sure what to do, you know, go talk to a recruiter. Figure out what uniform looks cool to you and just go talk to them.
Decide if you want to live on a boat or not. That's the first question.
That's a big question.
Do you want to drown?
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.